How about money? Not even money. Larger crowds. Album sales. More recognition. More people getting exposed to your music as a confirmation or even a vindication of what you're doing. Does that play into it?
Well, it's just something that's naturally happened. It's not really. It's definitely not a vindication. It's the type of thing where we've been working on this thing and created something, and the more that we work on it, the bigger it gets. As far as the ability for it to be communicated to a larger quantity of people, and it's just something that we love to do, and it's something that we feel, that we know is like a real, genuine, healthy thing. I mean, it's something that's really a positive energy, and the more that, the more people that we can communicate that energy to, the better. Because, in a world that is so caught up in lots of very evil things, anything that is positive and beautiful should be shared by all.
Although it's generally, just as much fun to play for a club of 100 as it is to play for a stadium of 15,000.
More fun?
No, I mean, they both have, their own places in our lives, but it's not any more fun, really. I mean, we had just as much fun the first time we ever played on stage for a club of 100 as we do now.
I would think that it could be less fun in some ways the bigger it gets.
It's just different. It's not less fun, it's just different. I think the only thing less fun about becoming more popular is if you reach a certain point, when you can't go out in public, or you can't, go to your favorite, restaurant or your favorite club because, you're afraid of people hassling you. That's when it becomes less fun. But that's one of the perfect things about, the amount of popularity that we've received is we get recognized and we get appreciated and we get admired and we get loved, which are all good things. But, we're still free to roam the world as people without having to feel like isolated rock stars who, can only hang out with other celebrities or some bullshit like this.
I mean, it's not like at the point where I think that like a lot of musicians that get really famous have this feeling that everyone that's dealing with them wants something from them. And it's not like that with us. And to tell you the truth, I don't think it would ever be like that with us, because I know that we're all fortunate enough to have friends that we really love. And, as long as you have that, then you know that there's people that you're going to be dealing with that are dealing with you because they love you, not because of your fame or because of something that they can gain from association.
What's the connection between sex and rock and roll?
Well, I suppose that connection is different, depending on the different people that you might ask that question for. I think sex and love and making love and having sex is one of the true beauties of human life, and it's a very powerful and extraordinary energy that exists, that is just one of many energies that is going to come through in our music. And there's obviously a very powerful correlation between hardcore funk music and sex. They sort of go hand in hand, and we're not afraid to incorporate that energy into our music. There's no reason that we shouldn't. And I think it's just about being sexually free and musically free, and the two are going to come together as they should naturally. And, the whole rhythmic aspect of funk music is very related to the rhythmic aspect of sexual activity as well as sexual feelings. And there's also a point of spiritual divinity that you can reach, by having sex with somebody that you love, and reaching that point when you forget about everything else in the world that's around you other than those orgasmic and euphoric spiritual feelings that you get with your sexual partner, that you can also reach through music. They're both sort of a pathway to a sense of divinity,
And there's also the thing that, I think, in order to play music, to really play music, you have to have the ability to give yourself up completely to it, and to let go of everything else and just give yourself to the music. And it's the same thing. I mean, to really have beautiful sex, you have to be able to give yourself up to it completely.
There's a boner in every groove.
There you go.
Power to the boner, the black boner, the Mexican boner.
What's the
Yugoslavian boner.
Anyone? Of course, that's talk about universals.
Yeah, that's equally universal.
Power to the Filipino clitoris.
What about tour plans?
Plower to the Turkish tit. A plower. We're gonna go on tour in October forever.
Forever?
We're gonna tour our heads off.
Is that scary? Fun? You know,
I'm scared.
It's scary and it's fun and it's great. You know, I personally love going on tour because it has the uncanny knack of
Dead Kennedys.
The Dead Kennedy knack of thrusting you into the world of the unexpected and the exciting, and you're going to meet new people every day, and you're going to see new cities every day, and you're going to experience new cultures and languages and foods and weather, and that's really what life is all about. I mean, you're living large when you're on the road. You know, it's certainly a painstaking process that drains you physically, emotionally, and in any other way that you could imagine being drained. You know, tour will drain you. It'll drain you, you know, like a bathwater running down the drain. But it'll also, you know, inject you with more energy than you could ever imagine possible. It's a sense of no reality when you're on the road. You know, you know nothing and you know everything at the same time.
Of course, you inevitably have to leave things behind when you go.
Yep.
Which is, I guess that's the tough part.
I mean, like dirty dishes and.
Well, depends on, you know, how much you like doing the dishes, but I was thinking more like children.
Yeah,
and
of
stuff,
course. You know, you go on the road and you leave your home behind. You know, you may leave your family or in Flea's case, you know, your beautiful redheaded daughter, and you're going to miss those things. But that's part of the balance of being a touring musician is, you know, you're home for a while and then you're gone for a while. And for me, it's like I'm always home until I can't stand being home anymore. And then I go on the road until I can't stand being on the road anymore. And it's just a never-ending cycle.
We'll be doing the sock? Who knows?
Pay no attention to the man with the sock on his cock.
Next question. Is there such a thing as indecent exposure?
Yeah, I'm sure that there is, but I don't think that we could ever be accused of it. I think that, you know, every time that like an ugly, greedy person shows his face, it's indecent exposure.
The way that it's been applied to you guys seems kind of ludicrous in a way.
Well, like, I mean, exposure of the naked body, you know, in the right context is a great thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, the fact that, you know, Americans especially have a tendency to equate, you know, sex and violence in the same sentence is a preposterous notion. You know, the human body is one of the most beautiful forms that I know of, and to show it in the context of a musical performance is just a huge plus. You know, we're never going to do anything to aggravate anybody sexually. That is, anybody who's sexually healthy won't be aggravated by what we do. You know, people that are very closed-minded and sexually frustrated and sexually unhealthy are destined to be, you know, probably jealous of our sexual freedom, and they manifest that in, you know, hatred towards what we do. But that's their problem, and we're certainly not going to worry about their problems.
And what are they doing at your show? Seems the whole thing just seems so ludicrous. You know, you have people who go out of their way to try and
Yeah, I mean, there's people that
expose themselves to something that they don't want to be exposed
Well, I
to.
mean, people, you know, this whoever it is that heads up the anti, you know, naked titty, naked penis thing, you know, these people are obviously really twisted, sad, bored people that have nothing else to do but waste their time by stopping other people from having a good time. And, you know, as long as we exist, we'll be promoting the good time.
From the ridiculous to the, I guess, to the tragic. Just briefly, what has Hillel's death meant to you guys personally?
Well, I think it's his life that really, you know, means a lot more to us. You know, Hillel Slovak was one of the best friends that either Flea or I will ever have as long as we live. And, you know, he's always going to be a part of us as long as we live. You know, whenever you get that close to somebody and whenever you share that much of your life with somebody, and whether they're alive or they're dead, it's going to be with you for a lifetime. And his love and his compassion for me will always be with me, because he was a very wonderful and special human being. And on a musical level, what he did with the Red Hot Chili Peppers has made us what we are today, and he'll always be an influence on everything that we create, just because he was as much a part of us as we are a part of us. And he lives on in every sense of the word. As a friend, he lives on, and as a musician, he lives on within the context of what we're doing now. The fact that he died was obviously a completely unexpected bummer. That'll probably make us sad till the day that we die, but it'll also make us happy till the day we die. So